Milk is one of the most important food products in the world and has been vital to human diet for centuries. The movement of milk from the dairy farms to the factories and then to the consumer is quite interesting. It involves traditional farming blended with modern-day technology. In this transcript, we will be discussing how the farms operate, the procedures followed in milk collection and handling, as well as how the milk is turned into condensed milk in the factory. Dairy farming. The beginning of the process. The first stage of the production process of milk takes place on dairy farms. These are the farms on which the cows are kept and bred. Cows are bred as part of a farming system aimed at maximizing milk yield. Maintenance and health of the cows is crucial because only healthy cows give high-quality milk. Milking process. The milking procedure is very clean and efficient in modern dairy farms. The cows are milked through an automated milking system that enables cleanliness and lower animal stress levels. These machines extract milk through suction and store it in temperature-controlled storage tanks. Milk collected is evaluated for quality attributes, including fat quantity, bacterial count, and temperature upon collection. After the milk is collected, it is transported to a dairy processing plant, making its first stop. To prevent spoilage, the milk is kept under regulated temperature conditions during transport. Refrigerated tanker trucks guarantee that the milk reaches the factory without losing quality. Once at the plant, further quality assessments are done to the milk to determine if it is safe for processing. Condensed milk step-by-step process. Condensed milk production starts once fresh milk reaches the factory. Fresh milk goes through various processes before it turns into sweetened condensed milk. It is a thick dairy product that is widely used in baking and beverages. One, pasteurization. Pasteurization is the very first step and the most critical step towards converting fresh milk into sweetened condensed milk. It involves elimination of harmful bacteria through the heating of pasteurized milk to a specific temperature of approximately 72 degrees Celsius within 15 seconds. Pasteurization helps in providing safety of dairy products for human consumption, as it helps eliminate dangerous bacteria and retain the flavor. 2. Evaporation. In secondary stages, such as evaporation, the milk is pumped to capsules that vacuum evaporators. Here, through the use of vacuum technology, about 60% of water content is eliminated to create a thick and a concentrated liquid without burning the milk or making it taste awful. The milk is allowed to evaporate at lower temperatures, enabling it to not burn. 3. Sugar addition. In sweetened condensed milk, sugar is added after concentration of milk is achieved. Approximately 40 to 45% sugar is added along with enhancing the sweetened factor of milk, inhibiting growth of bacteria, as well, which increases the shelf life of the product. 4. Cooling and further concentration. The solution's temperature is raised further until all the sugar dissolves and desired thickness is achieved. The thickened milk is then rapidly cooled to avoid crystallization of sugar and ensure smooth texture. Stability and homogeneity of the product are observed during the cooling stage. 5. Homogenization. Homogenization of condensed milk is conducted to make sure there is no separation in the fat globules. Apart from preventing the separation of fat globules, This also gives the condensed milk a smooth, creamy consistency. Six, sterilization. Condensed milk is not packed right away. It needs to go through sterilization first to clean it from all bacteria and microorganisms to make it last longer. It is the heating of the product to a higher temperature for a short time while containing the product to allow long-term protection against consumption. 7. Canning and packaging. The last step of the process is canning and packaging the product. The condensed milk is poured into cleaned cans or pouches, sealed, and ready for labeling and distribution. Each container must have the same amount of product along with hygiene and quality, which are ensured by sanitary automated machines. Due to concerns about sustainability and its impact, the dairy sector is moving towards sustainability. For instance, many dairy farms utilize biogas plants in which renewable energy is extracted from cow manure. Efforts are also made by factories to use more energy-efficient processes for milk production and for further use. Economics of dairy farming. Dairy farming is considered an economic leader for having an income of billions of dollars. With its operation, dairy farming provides employment to millions of people, including small farmers in developing countries. The global market for dairy products is predicted to reach a value of $893 billion, with the leading producers being the US, India, and the European Union. Economically, dairy farms are quite important in places like North America and Europe. Marked reports of global dairy farming indicate that billions of dollars are earned in the business annually, giving income to millions. Dairy supply chains stem from local farmers to global companies with end products like yogurt, butter, cheese, and milk. Climate change. Increased temperatures impact the region's ability to produce quality milk and fodder. Soaring feed costs. Farmers are coping with the sustained increase in supply costs for feed and water. Dairy farming is no longer attractive to many urban youths as they migrate to cities. Agricultural industry stakeholders and governments are implementing new policies and adoption of new technologies to assist in farmers' operations with an aim to enhance efficiencies and sustainability of the dairy sector. With new technology, dairy farming and condensed milk production are becoming more streamlined and straightforward. Automated monitoring systems for cows, AI integration in blockchain technology for supply chain management, and solar milk coolers are just some examples of how different sectors are revolutionizing the industry. Youth engagement through curriculum and cash is sure to bring about carbon-neutral dairy farms, super high-yielding hybrid stock, and greater youth participation in the future. Every sophisticated process is carried out in a well-coordinated and controlled manner in the business of dairy farming and milk processing to satisfy high standards of consumer products. Involves breeding cows, milking them, and then taking the milk into factories and producing condensed milk so that nutritious dairy products can be served fresh to millions of households. The next time you enjoy the flavor of condensed milk in your coffee or dessert, consider the journey it undertook. There was a significant process involved, from the farm to the factory and finally to your table.
For centuries, cattle farming has been domesticated. It was about 10,000 years ago when its domestication began. However, modern breeds come to the surface from the aurochs. They are well known for being cousins of wild oxes of European bison that have heavy fur on their front look. In 4000 BC, longhorn cattle were used for various religious sacrificials. Around 2000 BC, from Africa via Spain, longhorn cattle were brought for beef production. Shortened horn cattle were used for agricultural purposes. In the beginning, they were used for three basic needs: drafting, meat, and milk production, and they were sufficient for three of them. Nowadays, it is said that you can get more butter from the milk of a longhorn animal than any other breed. However, they are now used only for the beef purpose. Well, we still consider longhorn cattle to be the species of Texas. Though it is wrong, why won't we consider it right this way? The right answer to this question is that it has been there for many centuries. On the contrary, these American cattle had a great history and were brought by the Spanish conquerors from the Iberian Peninsula when Christopher Columbus almost began his second-time journey in 1512. In the Texas city, the longhorn cattle are a significant breed, famous for their peculiar, striking, and eye-chasing longhorns, and appear as particular from other cattle breeds. Now they have become a symbol of Texas and its livestock farming heritage. But before starting the ranching into longhorn cattle farming, hit the subscribe button and leave a comment for us. Longhorn cattle farming can be a more luxurious and profitable business if taken good care of and managed in the proper way that it requires. According to people who have ventured into this business, they are used for both beef and horn characteristics. Moreover, their meat tastes like the meat of deer or elk. It is low in fat and cholesterol and is more beneficial to diabetic and cardiac patients. But the plus point of this business is that they are easy to raise, and a little attention can be a big cheese to your trading. And by the way, they're considered a bit more intelligent of their breeds than others. So, what is their growth ratio? Well, by the end of their first year of birth, the horns grow 30 inches from tip to tip. Normally, bull calves have tiny crooks appear on their head in a few days after they are born. At the early stage, the size of horns increases by 1 to 3 inches. Until they reach a mature age, the size of their horns can be long to 95 inches. OMG, like seriously, horns get this much longer. I am sure with this length of horns, those cattle must look scary to people. Talking about people, it is mandatory to keep in mind you shouldn't get close enough that they can hurt you easily. If you have them as an owner, they will be friends with you. But to strangers, they seem distant and feel not comfortable. So if they don't like one, they're going to hit you with their horns. Ouch, it sounds crouchy. It is like they are taught by nature don't get anything from a stranger. We, being humans, would learn it or not, they have learnt and practiced. Well, longhorn cattle are modified to graze on hard, fibrous plants. In this way, their food must contain hay, grass, and other related vegetation. Also, they are famous for their capacity to thrive on a diet of grasses, forbs, and weeds. They are way easy on food. Whatever you give them, they will enjoy it. However, you must consider that the food must cover the whole minerals that their body requires. Make sure that they get enough proteins, vitamins, and all required minerals to keep in good and healthy shape. Oh, you're going crazy to have these longhorn cattle, don't you? Give the thumbs up to the video for such amazing nutshells. do you know, guys, as casual beef is not a cup of tea for everyone, in comparison to them, Longhorn cattle meat got more importance as they are often available in cans and at lower prices. Those who have been in this business for a long period often sell its meat for different types of cooking food. Their meat is available in the markets in different forms. Often, resellers offer it as frozen for several cuts as steaks, barbecue, smoked sausages, and other cuts, etc. That sounds strange, but yeah, it's true. Anyhow, it's still not as easy as it sounds here. Still, the profit depends on various other factors, such as the number of cows, the number of labor's consistency and work, acre per cow, nutrition, and grazing availabilities. All these factors finalize your profit ratio. Those who have ventured into it describe that with the combination of hard hooves, long legs, long horns, and intelligence, they have become more popular and their demand has also exceeded in a few years. These are the reasons for their survival and prosperity breed. So, didn't you think when we talk about the characteristics of horns, what they could be, or if you think of how they could be beneficial in the business run? Well, let us explain it. I guess you people haven't any idea of how much their beautiful, hard, and long horns can be lucrative for you. Sit tight because your head definitely will spin when you hear the price. Okay, they can bring you a profit of almost $450 to $2,000 when they are sold for decoration purposes. Moreover, it does not take a break here, but their skull and their multicolored hide also add profit to your account, as their hide is used in many forms like couches, cushions, chairs, and other furniture. There are some mandatory notches that one should be aware of. It doesn't matter how easy they are to go with, but still, there are some factors that they needed, though they are well suited for living in the open air. However, there should still be a sturdy shelter, whether of a pole barn. Any shelter that can provide them relief from the hot rays of the sun in summer and save them from rain, storms, or cold winds in winter season. It is essential because when you give them a choice, they spend 46% of the time indoors, especially in the summer, but they also love to spend their evenings outdoors, especially their nights and milking time, although they produce milk for their calves. In today's world, they are mostly used for meat purposes, as their milk production is less compared to other breeds. Throughout the video, Longhorn cattle look significantly important in our daily lives. After all, we use them for our food and taste. Look at their beautiful, sturdy, and curvy long horns, and enjoy your enthusiasm for ranching it. Hope you folks enjoy the ride on Longhorn cattle.